Hello, welcome to the home stretch. We are on the final module here of email marketing. Great job. We're almost there. So, we're going to talk about list building and how important it is to, of course, grow your subscriber base, no matter which segment they're a part of or what campaign they're being put into. We always want to be growing that list, especially because we have people fall off all the time. We want the acquisition, of course, to outweigh the unsubscribes. And how are we integrating other platforms into our email marketing strategy and really smart campaigns that can start with something totally different from email, like a landing page or a website or an event or some other contest or call to action? It all starts to work together in a really neat way. First things, we've got to make it easy for people to subscribe. You know that if it's too difficult, you're not going to. I've had many experiences where I'm on a web form and they're asking for like my salary and my, middle name and my dog's name. And it's just like, enough, too much. No, I just wanted that quick little tip sheet or access to your article. So don't gate it too difficultly, or you're not going to get the win. And likewise, when you've got the option to create something a little bit snazzy and eye-catching, of course, the last thing you want to do if you manage to get their eyeballs on your pop-up or your web form is to make it, difficult to sign up for or subscribe to. But we've got to think as well about that whole kind of, again, the idea of annoy versus it's effective. And that's where pop-ups are, absolutely a contentious issue. We've all seen them, and we all constantly receive them or are, bombarded with them. And several years ago, it was, for me anyway, much more of a kind of tough decision because I knew that they could lead to high annoyance and thus, turn people off right away that were coming to our website for the first time or maybe the 10th time. And then we started to see just the smart parameters within pop-ups that made them really worthwhile. For example, you can have a pop-up not show to someone already on your list. Great, thank you. Or someone who's seen it within the last 60 days or 120 days, or only appear on certain pages of your website, or only appear on scroll when they've reached the bottom of the page, or you've seen when you go to hover on the I'm leaving this page, the pop-up appears. They're really smart, dynamic tools. And there's a number of lead generation software platforms that will allow us to do this, but now you don't even have to pay for those separately anymore because they can be expensive. You can find those parameters and those smart systems within the most baseline email marketing providers. They should be able to, at minimum, tell if you're going to run a pop-up or some kind of like form that's not embedded in your footer or embedded in the website, but it's got this like, animation to it. It should absolutely know if that person is already on your list or not. So you've got some criteria involved. Not all providers are the same. Again, other ways to subscribe or incentives to do so. Is there gated content? Fine, that's great. It's powerful and effective, whether that's just a coupon code or a discount or that downloadable resource, but you've got to make sure that it arrives easily because again, you don't want to have to, hunt around for it in 15 different places. People get ticked off when it's not immediately available and they have to go log in or do something weird. And then of course, we can cross promote our list building tools or our pop-ups or our web forms because they generally have a URL, or we can put it embedded into our website and have a /subscribe page that is easy to send people to, and we're not directing to them some weird MailChimp email address. We're sending them to our own website to subscribe and be a part of our fold. So some of the list building tools that we'll talk about are ones that we utilize. For a full list of our favorite email marketing providers, I encourage you to check out our tool shop because we're finding and testing new ones all the time. And it's a changing environment. They change very quickly, and we only recommend things that we've tried or that we're using ourselves. And there's a number of great tools, whether you're just starting or you're really far and deep into your email marketing sequences and you're willing to invest in them, maybe with a higher price point. The one we're looking at was built in Sumo, and that's a very comprehensive tool that builds all sorts of things: landing pages, welcome mats, pop-ups, embedded forms. It is meant to grow your list. And kind of fun because of course it's got a lot of design elements to it, and then those smart parameters that I was talking about where it's connected to Infusionsoft, which has been one of our CRMs or our customer relationship management systems, not Sumo. Sumo just is connected to Infusionsoft or MailChimp or Emma or Kajabi, and it sends that information, that info collected, back to those lists with a tag or a segment accordingly, so that immediately when that contact arrives, it is pushed into the right email sequence, which is run out of probably Kajabi or Infusionsoft or MailChimp. Another tool, again, the pop-up or the web form, but within these, there's all types. So yes, a coupon code's an obvious one, but also, that scarcity and that urgency kind of piece that I mentioned. If you look at the bottom there, Chive, a website or a landing page that's talking about a party. Imagine. And don't miss it. That's a way to collect an email pretty quickly. Sometimes when we run contests, like the one on the left as well, we run the risk of just building a list and then having a lot of unsubscribes to the people that didn't win or didn't get chosen, which is okay. I mean, if you're going to run a lead gen campaign to build your list every quarter or once a year with some kind of contest or some kind of campaign like that, you can expect there to be some unsubscribes, but that's life and it's not the end of the world. I've mentioned landing pages a few times, and we go deep into the purpose of landing pages and the difference between landing pages and websites in our website class. And we run a number of website classes like Kajabi. We have, it's my favorite tool these days, and a Shopify course as well. And so, yes, we can build landing pages in those tools or in separate tools again, like lead pages. Sumo. There's a number of software programs out there that are just meant to build funnels, email sequences, landing pages, and lead generation. However, now the likes of the Kajabis allow us to do it all in one place and not have to pay for all these additional tools. So it's so exciting. Such a great time to be alive. But let's just look at these landing pages in particular. The one in the middle, Tony Robbins. We know that Tony Robbins' website is going to be jammed with stuff, lots of information about all the things he's done and what he can do for us. Take note of that subject line or that header there, how to get what you want. It's about me. It's saying you. I land here and it's talking about how I can make change in my life. And it's leading me to go, yeah, tell me more. Where? It's not Tony Robbins, best-selling author, blah, 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 award-winning this. It's about my needs the second I land there. But the one in front there, that unshakable with his big face, is a landing page just about his new book. So if I want to pre-order it and if I want to be on that list to be nurtured along on his book and other probably book-related things before I join the masses of his regular email campaigns, I'm going to be sent to this landing page. And the purpose is focus. Sole focus of your prospect on that call to action and that goal you want them to achieve. And this is where landing pages can be so powerful. Oftentimes, like ours on the right there, where we wanted people to sign up for our Grow Your Online Business 4-week training series, which eventually led to a website course, there's not even a nav bar. There's no navigation. It's just like its own little microsite that has no other distractions. It sure doesn't have a social feed baked into it. And please, if you still have that on your website, remove it or bury it in the footer with just a few Instagram images. But the last thing you want to do when you finally get traffic to your site, again, amen, nice work, is send them bouncing back off to Facebook where they're lost forever. Good luck. So we want focus and we want dedicated instructions as to what to do next. And that's where landing pages can be really powerful. And then of course, it goes without saying that it has to be connected to some kind of email sequence after the fact. So the reason I love Kajabi right now so much, and I think I will for a long time, is because it's not just like my former tool Infusionsoft or some of the other email marketing campaigns we've used forever or companies where you sort of just have that trigger and a web form. It's pretty and smart if you're lucky, and then you have an email sequence that rolls out, and a redirect page to your website as a thank you page or the thing you want to sell. But with Kajabi, in fact, I've got a few examples here. they have landing pages as a big piece of their offering, their all-in-one software. So you've got web forms, you've got customer relationship management, or that database piece baked in with all the triggers and the segmentation. And then you've got the email campaigns that roll out as a result. You can run events and videos and courses and create your parent website, but have a separate landing page that is totally different looking, and you can remove the footer and the header and everything else. It's really quite cool. So there's lots of changes coming to many, many different website providers that now incorporate email. And this is where, if I was, gosh, an email marketing provider only, I'd be a little nervous, because the website companies like Shopify are figuring out how to add in really smart branded email sequences. Squarespace, same thing. They're like incorporating email marketing as an add-on offering to their website hosting. So yeah, kind of, again, a great time to be alive. So let's end. You've got a lot of work to do and a bit of research and some strategizing, of course, and then nothing but progress and exciting results ahead. But let's end by talking about your process in terms of a calendar. And this is where, as the old adage goes, if you don't put it in your calendar and, actually make a plan, you just simply won't do it. So fail to plan, plan to fail. So let's think about what we need to do in the month at hand. And it might be next month. I love to work a month in advance, and it's what we encourage people to do with their content and their blogs and email marketing. So if you had to kind of just plot on a month calendar, when you have to maybe decide on your headline, draft the first copy or write the headlines, gather up the graphics or imagery, schedule it, maybe get some edits or approvals. What does that look like for you? Is it every Monday, once a week? It's what we do with our nicer method in the content club at Social School. The N is quarterly, and we name our campaigns, our subject lines, our pillars and categories, and our goals. And then every week, a month in advance, week 1, the I, we ideate what exactly is going into those posts. The C, nicer. C, we create and we curate the imagery. The E, we edit and we schedule it. And then the R, we focus on reach, the final week of the month ahead. We make sure that we're getting it seen. So that might include some cross promotion on social. It might include running some ad campaigns or whatever it is. The nicer method. We repeat it every month, and then we kind of quarterly go into a bigger picture strategy. But whatever your process is, just make sure that you write it down and then you plot it in your calendar, and you do not treat it like something that's movable or not that important, because it really is. And unfortunately, our content creation often gets pushed to the back burner because things are pressing and they come up like hot fire. But consistency is key here. You've got to commit to consistency if you want to see the gains we're talking about. And then, of course, you can print out a couple copies of this last page if you want to think about what other months ahead would look like too. So maybe you've got a whole quarter or 6 months worth of mapping out your calendar and what those deadlines, tasks, and deliverables are. And if you've got a better planning tool, by all means, there's so many online calendars and content planners, but sometimes it's really nice to pen to paper, scratch it out, and then plug it into your, Google Calendar. I really hope that this is valuable for you. I'm going to leave you with a few final words here. The point here at the end of the day of email is not to promote our business. It is to alter our contact toward a more desirable state, something that makes them feel like their problems have been solved, like the weight is off their shoulders, and they've found the solution to their problems and their pain points. And you are that solution. You've just got to find a way to make sure that you can convey it in a way that doesn't feel pushy and that they want to hear it. So be assertive, but not passive. Use action words and clear calls to actions in your buttons. Buy now, register, see you there, read more. Create curiosity and delight. Lead us to more, but also leave us wanting more every time. And, the more we get to know you, the more we look forward to what comes next. And then less selling and more of that serving, where we constantly try and make it about them and their needs and not us and ours. And I hope to see you in the next lab. In fact, the very next course in this 200 level of the 360 series is about video storytelling, where we look at, of course, the power of video, and then some of the channels that are so excellently allowing us to create and publish video content right now, particularly with things like IGTV and Instagram Reels. We look at the different types of video storytelling and how we can come up with video content that we didn't even know we had, and many other things. So good luck with your email marketing. I hope to see you in my inbox very soon, and thank you so much for being here. Talk to you soon.